I've been the biggest college football 25 critic. I've been telling you how unrealistic it is, how crazy it is, how the sim logic is breaking everything. But I gotta be honest with you, after seeing the things that we have, after seeing some of these video game like stat lines that we've seen in the week 1 of college football 25, I might need to apologize. Today we're gonna wrap up the week 1 of college football, the amazingness that it was, look at some video game numbers, and really see how unrealistic college football 25 has been painting the wonderful, wild world of college football. First off, if you like these videos, I know I do mostly college football 25 videos. You want to see more college football videos, man, you let me know in the comments. Like the video if you like it, dislike if you don't like, subscribe if you want to see more videos. Let's get into it. Let's start right here. The dang elephant in the room, the T-Mix C in the room. This big bad dog is the best wide receiver in all of college football. It's as simple as that. Broke FBS records, I think, for receptions and I guess the whole stat line. Game with 10 receptions, 300 plus yards, 30 plus yards per reception, and 4 plus receiving touchdowns. First in FBS history to have a game with all those. And then just to take a step back from that, 300, how many of them? 304 for tutters. He got to the zone of where it ended, only on 10 of them touches. That's pretty nasty. You got him the ball. He was probably going to end up into the old end zone about 4 out of 10 times. So that's a pretty good, efficient number. It's very important to understand that Dabo Swinney is just not on the same level right now. In the ways that he was, doesn't have the talent. He doesn't understand modern college football. Someone like Kirby Smart does. And the reflections of what we saw Saturday at 12 o'clock, the kickoff game, was, I think, very poignant to see that. Look, Dabo's a good coach. I think he's going to have a great culture. He's going to keep fostering great men who are going to be able to graduate and do amazing things. But is he going to be able to sniff the national championship if this is how he's going to look like against the number 1 team in the nation? I don't think so. They clearly have talent in Clemson. They're clearly got decent coaching in Clemson. I just don't think they have everything they need. Cade Klubnik is not a world destroyer. Cade Klubnik is no Deshaun Watson, no T-Law, no. I don't even think he's a Taj Boyd, to be honest with you. And that's no bad on Cade Klubnik. I don't think there's anything negative there. We're talking about elite teams in the world of college football. Unless you want to have an FCS program and go down North Dakota and win off the power of friendship, it's not going to work where teams like Georgia are building a culture and they're bringing in the top nation's recruits and transfers. So, look, Dabo, you're going to be stuck in the past to be stuck in the past. Get with it or keep losing and being irrelevant. As we move on, though, we had some Florida boys get after it in the whole Miami, Florida situation, and it really exposed a lot of things, mostly actually for Miami and Florida, right? I think we answered some questions about Cam Ward as well as answered some questions about what Florida is really going to look like. So it's pretty nasty. I just want to make sure there's nothing else. If not, we're going to hop right into before we get into the Florida boys, I'm trying to get you all the the high school numbers first. Not high school numbers, all the video game numbers first. 20 touches, 267 yards and 6 touchdowns. Homie ran for like a quarter mile or more. I mean, that's pretty nasty. I think he literally ran for a mile. He ran for a mile, 20 carries. I can't convert. I can't do math. Let's round it up. It's a mile runner, 6 touchdowns. How? I know it was Georgia Southern. Calm down. I know it's Georgia Southern. How do you allow one man to get in the end zone 6 times, son? 267 yards. Like, what are we doing? I mean, I thought the Heisman Trophy race was going to be a little more secure. People thought Travis Hunter had it secured. And look, Travis Hunter is still one of the best players in all of college football, and that's never going to change. But if Ashton Gentry, I don't know how to say his name, is doing this, and Tatario McMillan is doing that, like, that's a lot going on. So let's talk about it. No, let's really talk about it. We've got new supremacy out there in Florida, as what it seems. It seems like this Florida team was given a little too much respect, and the Miami team was given a little bit of hype, and I think some things were confirmed, some things were crushed, and the biggest thing was that Billy Napier needs to be thrown off a ship, off a cliff, off of something, because he's not going to last too long in that swamp. It's not looking too great. But let's start with the positives. Cam Ward, hey man, after some of those bad throws, the throwing across the bodies, I mean, that is what it is. He's an electrifying player, and he brought some electricity to that Miami team. And I'm not sure if y'all know, but there was like a 27-year-old scoring tutters for his like 9th year in college football. This is gonna be a fun season, man. Like there's just so much happening right now. The transfers, the olds, there's an Arkansas wide receiver who's 29, but we'll get to that when we get to it. But Dan Mally Mullen had something to say when it came to, well, not something to say, something to retweet when it came to some people talking about him and Billy Napier. And it seems to say that the coach that got fired went to 3 consecutive New Year's 6 games in the first 3 years and was let go in his 4th season, comparing Dan Mullen to old Billy Napier. And when we get to that point, we can see old big bad Billy Dan Mullen really standing on business, if you will, and making sure that he lets everybody know how happy he was about the situation that he sees. So let's take a look at Florida here. See what's going on. So that's tough, man. That is tough. This is a great time, man. How you get beat so bad? I mean, he was shaking his hands, dog. He was shaking people's hands. I don't think you can hear it. I was sitting there letting it play, but you can't hear it. But you get it. He's over there shaking people's hands. These kids, look at these. They're mesmerized right now, dog. They can't believe it. This guy he's putting the U up. Whoa. I was like, oh, they just kind of, this dude he ready to jump ship for real. I think that's who got dapped up too. It said, aha, you feel me? Shaking hands and taking names. So a lot of disrespect happened over there in the swamp. I'm going to let you know that right now. And things were put into place of where they need to be. I thought that was a fun time watching that. It was phenomenal. Before we go any farther with a few more memes and a few more funny things, let's actually see what the coming into week 2 top 25 is going to look like. We got Georgia, clearly the best team in the nation. Alabama at 2. Texas squanders in at 3. I think Texas Longhorns had a good showing versus Colorado State. Alabama obviously did what they needed to do. Ohio State probably added some question marks besides Jeremiah Smith, and we'll get to that. Penn State did what they needed to do. Notre Dame is still ranked way too high. Tennessee's ranked too low. Ole Miss, Jackson Dart can play football? Wow. Oklahoma and Oregon too high. Miami too high. Mizzou too low. And the rest of this field here, we're about to see how it squanders out. How Texas A&M is still ranked at all, losing to Notre Dame in the way that they lost to Notre Dame, I don't know. I think both of them should have just been thrown out the rankings, but that's just how I feel. A big, maybe not big issue, but definitely an issue that has been perceiving and proclaiming and personifying, if you will, the wild world of Michigan. And it's interesting. They're talking about the whole tunnel thing, how, every single time, or not every single time, but very often Michigan has this big issue in the whole tunnel where they're smacking people about, or someone's getting jumped, or someone's getting drumped, or whatnot. And apparently it happened again with Fresno State. All the hard fought battles between Michigan and Fresno State. I mean, so clearly there was bad water there, or maybe this Michigan doesn't know how to act. Some things never change. Michigan football, Ohio State football. That boy is digging for something. Look, man, I don't think it's that big of a deal. I'm just making jokes up here. They do need to figure out their quarterback situation. I will tell you that. It looks like they have. They're going with a walk-on. Hopefully he can be their Stetson Bennett, but barely escaping Fresno State and not dominating them like we hope to. The national defending champions have lost a lot, but we hope to see them bounce back in a way better way, shape, form, fashion, and otherwise. I mean, going back to the Aggies, we're bouncing all over the place, but man, don't you love the underreactions from college football fans? Yeah, I love it. I love just going through Twitter and seeing these absolutely amazing things. And then we have something that just ruined my day. This ruined my day. And what you don't know is he's rapping. So Baby Gronk, the child who needs to be reported to CPA, to the CPA, is of course running around in another college that his father set up for him, doing inappropriate things, looking soulless, wearing lots and lots of fake jewelry, and just with the worst haircut that God could ever allow happen to another man. Like, look at him. Look how much fun he's having, dog. He's so excited. Look at the fun, guys. This is great. This is awesome. It's not like he wants to be doing kid stuff. He wants to be carried around at the SEC opener with Oklahoma. This is nasty. This is real nasty. Why hasn't his son? And then the ladies playing with his chains. I don't like it. They hired a real this dude's nasty. There's a whole lot of nastiness going on. We can't show you that. Now, I guess college football 25 got a little bit realistic after their first update because this dude's buns. He's not really buns, but he hasn't really adjusted to being the high octane runner that we've seen in college football 25. The spin move wasn't there. He averaged, I think he ended up averaging like 3.3 yards to end the game. Not a great outing from old Quinshon Judkins. Travion Henderson looked great as always. Look, this is going to be a two-headed monster in the backfield. And to be honest with you, I think they got too many receivers to throw to right now with Ibuka, with Jeremiah Smith. I think they got a great tight end as well. So they've got a lot of mouths to feed. So I don't think it's a bad problem as long as Quinshon becomes able to take that next step and he can provide some value. I think they're going to be in a decent spot. But I'm not sure how realistic college football would have been pre-spin because that boy ain't spinning. We knew that boy wasn't spinning like that. That's what he get. I mean, maybe that's just payback for all the souls he took on online road to glory and everything else that he kind of destroyed. But yeah, here's another thing. We've gotta be a little bit, nicer to college football 25. We talked about how bad the names are, the silliness, the crazy generated name. This is real life, son. Mr. Missouri at the University of Missouri. And we're all going to act like Kool-Aid McKinstry wasn't a real person with a real name out there being one of the best defensive backs in the nation. Maybe I got to give EA and CFB a little bit more grace, man. Maybe I've been, you know what I'm saying? Maybe it's just been too much. Maybe I'm tripping a little bit. I don't know. Shout out to NCAA for being a cock blocker. Come on, dog. The people can't have. We can't have nothing. Just some QR codes to get these boys paid even more. But nah, we can't do it. I tell you, the NCAA, man, I can't wait until they just break away from the NCAA. By the way, this should never happen, ladies and gentlemen. This is the funniest thing I've probably ever seen with both of my eyes. But this should never happen, son. This is hilarious. Mind you, Western Kentucky just got scored on. I can't show you the clip. I can go like. See, they just scored. Look at the approach. Did the ref know that? I think the ref was in on it because look at that. Oh my goodness. Straight balls on the back of your neck. That's not phenomenal. Shout out to Nick Saban, really thugging it out, you know what I'm saying? Having to do the things that you got to do as a guy who's a guy, you know what I'm saying? Look at him chewing. Look at oh my God. You think you've seen Nick Saban uncomfortable before, boy. He cannot believe it. He cannot believe that Pat McAfee makes as much money as he does. It's awesome. That is awesome. And just to let y'all know, just a quick little wrap up. We're going to have another full individual wrap-up game of Colorado, but just to touch on it a little bit here, Travis Hunter is one of the best players in all of college football. Shedeur Sanders is legit, but nothing much else has changed at Colorado. It doesn't seem like that defense is ready for Nathan. The interior defensive line seems decent, especially in the run game. That was good to see. But that Raiola kid's about to start sending some seeds out there, and I don't think it's going to be very hard. And that offensive line needs to definitely needs to pick it up. But to be honest with you, I mean, you're starting a rookie tackle right now. You've got some things moving around. The fact that they did what he did and Shedeur looked as confident in certain situations that he did, I think that is a good sign from the offensive side. But there's not a lot of positives from the defensive side, except some of the run defense that I saw that I didn't see last year from Colorado. I saw some beef. They definitely got a few bigger pieces in there, but as far as being effective and efficient, I don't know. And then, of course, shout out to Coach Deion Sanders for just, making me look like an idiot and coaching one of the worst games I've ever seen. In that final 1 minute stretch, I will throw Deion Sanders a little bit of bail. It's not really bail because it's the rule of the run game. You never leave the run game, but they struggled so much with the run game when they got down to that, hey, we need to run. They just needed a first down. That's all they need. They need a first down or two. And then, I think they would have been in a better position. So I think Deion went into that thinking, hey, we're the best on our edges. So instead of doing a pure throw pass, let's go ahead and give us a something in the flat, something quick that we can kind of get to somebody to make a move and maybe just get 4 or 5 yards and do that. I think that's what they were trying to do those first two plays. But then you end up on like 3rd and 6, and Shedeur is throwing like 40 yards down the field trying to get a pass interference. It didn't look the best. I would love to see at least one run play right there, but I feel like everybody in the stadium knew they were going to run. That's the only bit of bail I could give them, because to respond to that, I would say, hey, if y'all would just have kept with the run game, because run game wasn't a complete negation. Their new running back transfer out of Ohio State seemed to be doing some decent stuff. He was doing some dirty work. It wasn't any big cracked up runs, but if you stay with that, man, I think you got enough beef inside to make something happen. So I would like to see what happens coming into Nebraska. I'm probably going to do an individual video specifically about Colorado and their woes. But, man, this first week has been crazy. Whole lot of insane interceptions, crazy stat lines. This freshman who went for 139 yards, 2 touchdowns on 2. What are they cooking over there in Alabama? Everybody thought it was going to be a problem. DeBoer's handling it. Baby Gronk's having a problem. Texas A&M should probably never be allowed to play football again. They should donate Kyle Allen to the local high school. And I think that's all I got to say about it, son. Shout out to the brand new top 10. Y'all let me know who does not belong on the top 10 and who's the most overrated team on this top 10. Appreciate y'all watching this, man. I'll see y'all next time. Leave a like if you like it. Dislike if you don't like it. Peace.